Sound one, a place to begin. Extract.
I thought they were just a bunch of do-gooders that were interested in generating as much publicity as they possibly could, creating as much work for the public works employees as they could find, and then in a few days after the publicity had all died away, all the litter and everything would come back and would be left for Public Works Department to clean up again. And as Director of Public Works, I've seen these sort of things happen many times, and quite frankly, I was leery of them. But I'm glad to say that this was not the case.
Here in Macon, Georgia, littering used to be considered normal behavior, as it is in most other places in the country. But the people of Macon have been able to change that pattern of behavior with the help of a systematically applied problem-solving tool, the Clean Community System.
What we wanted to avoid was the idea that we'd have a week's campaign and say, okay, let's clean up the city, and then forget about it. It is a continuing program, and it's more than just saying everybody go out and clean up their own spaces, their own businesses, their own industry, their own homes, but it's get it in your mind and get it in your heart. Believe in it. Believe that you've got a better city if you've got a cleaner city.
Littering is no different than any other problem. Before you can solve it, you have to get the facts, define it, measure it, determine its source.
Many people feel that the major sources of litter comes from pedestrian and from motorists throwing pop cans, sandwich wrappers, and what have you from moving vehicles. But studies have shown that only 20% of litter comes from this source. We know that litter moves by wind, by the rains. This litter that people are seeing alongside the roadside could very well have originated in their own backyard.
One of my functions with the Clean Community Commission is to monitor the litter. As you see the litter over in the corner here, if this was one of our monitor sites, we would evaluate the amount of litter here. And then every 3 months, we would come back to this site to see what kind of reduction we were getting.
Once you've separated the facts of litter from the fiction, you can deal with them in a planned, orderly way. The Clean Community System provides the tools and guidance, the step-by-step method for doing just that.
One reason we feel like this program's been very successful in Macon is we've pursued it on a business-like basis. We had a lot of research to go into this program before we ever got started. We had a lot of outside consultants who had studied litter and found out where litter came from and what were some possibilities in the way of reducing litter. We certainly have adopted a systematic approach here. This was not a cleanup campaign as such, although it did involve some cleanup.
One of the first jobs for the Clean Community Commission was to rewrite, update, really to reassemble the ordinances for the city and for the county.
Reevaluating existing waste handling technology is high on the list of priorities. But even more important in a people program is to get everyone pulling together, to get the support of the professionals, and to get the public on their side.
Our Public Works employees now are accepted as really necessary, doing a real necessary job for the community.
The system provides field-tested ideas and plans to help solve special problems and to gain the support of responsible groups.
Vacant lots has been one of our biggest problems. We had to find out who owned these lots, how to get to them, how to get the people involved in cleaning them up. So we worked through our real estate companies, begging them for their support and their involvement in reaching these people who own these vacant lots. One vacant lot in particular bothered me, and so I went to see the owner of this lot, and I asked him if he would cooperate with us, and he said, oh, sure, he'd be happy to, and he did a few days later, and he had left a sign for me. And this sign showed up in the newspaper and on television, and it was sort of the talk of the town. As a result of that, vacant lots all over town began to get cleaned up.
We have a selfish interest in this thing, and we think it's a good investment.
Well, the time is almost up, but it's been great to hear from the three of you.
Involvement of the media is an integral part of the system.
For many months. in about 4 weeks from now, we'll have another progress report, and we'll know it'll be just as great. Thank you for joining us, and have a good day.
Okay.
All I can say is contact the media. Contact them, ask them for help. They will welcome this. We are always looking for this sort of thing. And it's good for us, it's good for the community, and we get the story across, and after all, isn't that what it's all about?
Spreading the word, educating others is vital. In Macon, over 20,000 people have attended training workshops.
The first workshops were held by people who were experts in the field. They taught us about litter, and they taught us what we could do about reducing it. But at that point, we had to get out of the nest, so to speak, and fly on our own, and we had to learn not only to listen to others, but to teach others.
Do you see all of these trash cans around here? If you look at this yard and see how clean it is today, well, 10 months ago it wasn't that way before we had the seminar for the Southern Railway employees. Have you ever seen a railway yard as clean as this yard?
Over the years, it's become increasingly important that we become conscious and aware of our environment. And as superintendent of schools, I recognize the responsibility to try to inculcate in youngsters the values that would go with them throughout a lifetime.
To administer the program, it's essential to have a capable coordinator.
It's hard to believe that all of this has been provided to us by Georgia Power Company. We have telephones, storage, a library. All of this space was donated to us.
From the young to the old, the white, the black, the poor, the rich, everybody in the county has been involved in one way or another.
We had programs here before, but we didn't have the Clean Community program. The tenants are very, very interested in it. They went back out and sold it to the community, and everybody got involved with it.
Of course, me being county engineer, this sanitation comes up under my department, and I'm quite involved in it. And we've had great cooperation between the people that live in the rural areas. They're becoming very cognizant of the subject. And they're calling in, filing complaints, some for us to follow up on.
Started about 2 years ago. They had dozers out just pushing off the land. I guess people seen all the land so clear, they thought maybe they were making a dump or something, you know. People even started bringing trash from their homes, putting it out here.
And then, man, he was dumping some wood and iron and stuff. And we told him he didn't supposed to dump up here.
I guess they think they could dump anywhere because it's post section. I figured I should get in touch with Carol and see if she could do anything about it.
We had never thought of putting on tarps before until the Community Commission suggested it. We had never thought of debris being a litter problem, but now that we've done it, we're glad to do our part for the Clean Community Commission, and we hope that it'll encourage others to do their part.
Changing attitudes is the aim of the system, not placing blame. Positive reinforcement earns trust and cooperation.
We haven't placed any blame on any particular group. For instance, we haven't blamed Public Works, or we haven't blamed a group who live on a certain side of town, or any individual for litter. We know it's everybody's problem, and that we need to involve all of our people, and that's exactly what we've done. We've taken a positive approach all the way.
It really doesn't solve the purpose to fine somebody $25 or $50 for littering. What you need to do is to change attitudes. And we've got the great nucleus of people who are willing to try to get people to change their attitudes, and I think that's where our success has been. It's been a behavioral thing that we
If you get a consensus of opinion for a better community, then this whole idea can be worked out in other ways for other problems. There are all sorts of things it might become involved with, this system of working together and getting people to agree that they do want these better things.
Finally, the system is designed to produce results measured not just in reduction of litter. Litter is simply a place to begin.
We wanted to reduce litter by a certain amount. We felt like that a realistic goal to begin with was 60%, which took a lot of doing, but we set out with that goal, and we have achieved that goal.
And of course, I think when they come in and they see an active community as well as a
clean community, I think it makes a great impression on them.
Well, I've actually had people tell me, industrial prospects, that they were really thrilled to see the city as clean and as nice as it is. And I think we've done a good job with it. It's a thing that we have to keep working at, though, all the time.
I think that what's going to happen is that litter is just the start. Lines of communications have been opened so that people have started talking about problems that they have shared in the community. They've started talking with resources now that they haven't been in touch with before, and I think this is going to be a good start for Macon.
We've had a number of things to take place in Macon recently. We've just passed a bond issue that people were very pessimistic about. We passed a medical school bond issue and also one having to do with highways and paving the streets, and another one has to do with the sales tax. And I think previous to this time, a lot of people in Macon had the idea that we could never pass such things as these, but we feel like maybe that our program has made a better climate. It has drawn the community closer together, and certainly we think we're going to get more benefits out of it than litter reduction.
One of the happy things about this program is that it's about as far from politics as you could hope for. It's God and country and motherhood. Everybody's for a clean community.
Well, you know, what's really I think about is that this maybe could be the beginning of something even bigger. I mean, we're pulling together Macon in such a way that I just think it's sort of like a rebirth for Macon and can be carried on into the country as far as that's concerned.
Well, you know, at the outset, we said one thing we wanted to accomplish was a success experience, because if we learn that we can do something together and do it well by everybody working together, then we feel like maybe this success can spill over into some other areas, and perhaps it has, even since we began this program.
I certainly think it's helped us to bring...
The Macon experience is not unique. The clean community system is being successfully implemented in communities throughout the country. At Keep America Beautiful training workshops like this at Wayne State University, community project leaders are mastering the system's organizational and technical skills under the guidance of specialists from the National Training and Development Service.
Why Wayne State University? Well, it's a community like any other community across the country. 50,000 students and faculty, and the clean community system is adaptable to the campus, a factory, communities of all sizes.
While it's very sophisticated, it's also practical in its approach. You know, it's not easy to change norms within a community, even around something like reducing litter. These workshops are designed to train trainers to go back into their community to work with other people.
In the end, it's the people on the local level who make it work.
The one thing I've learned here in the last 2 days is that once you explain the program and once people see what it is and understand it, you get the commitment. You can almost feel the difference.